Hey, sweet friends. I just got home. I just got home from my, um, I don't know what reunion it was, but I graduated 65. It was in Tuscaloosa. And we had a wonderful time. And I just wanted to say, I just got home. Got something black on my eye. I drove for, 300. I drove for 300, no, 200 and a little over 200 miles this morning trying to get back home. Good morning, Wilma. Good morning, darling. And Ronnie, how are you, darling? I just got back home, y'all. I've been to my class reunion, and it was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, because I graduated from Tuscaloosa County High School. So anyway, I just pulled up, and I don't even need to sit down because I've been sitting down now for several hours. It took me about 3.5 hours to drive it in my big truck, but we had the best time. I graduated in 1965, and y'all know that was a long time ago. So we got there, and they had made us a little string with our picture on it from our annual. And I looked at it, and I looked at everybody else's because we didn't recognize each other, y'all. We didn't. My hair was kind of a auburn brown, and it was about this length, and it was teased on the top to about that high, and it came down, and then it flipped up on both sides. Well, I got to look at it, all the other pictures of the other girls, they were wearing theirs, and everybody had the same hairdo. Everybody's went down and then flipped back up. And in the 60s, that was a thing, I guess you'd have to say. And the guys, they had lost their hair. There was a few with hair, but most of them were kind of bald. And that's okay too. But, you just look at all those pictures and you think, oh my word. But y'all, I really and truly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If I had not gotten to look at their little tag, I wouldn't have known them. I would not have known them. But once we reconnected, all our memories came back, and we just sat. I sat with, her name is, when I knew her, it was Betty Carr and Judy Turner. But now it's Judy Strickland and Betty Davis. But we sat at the same table to eat, and we had a big buffet, as y'all saw. I just posted it yesterday or the day before. When was it? I posted it on Saturday, I guess, or Sunday morning early. And we had a wonderful buffet. And then a lot of the class members that live in Tuscaloosa, they made the desserts. So we just I had some coconut cake that was so good. It made me think of Christmas because y'all know I always bake coconut cake when it gets Christmas time or cool weather. I love it. When I was a little girl, Daddy would, Mother would buy a coconut. She'd usually buy 2 of them. And, it has those 3 eyes in the coconut. And Daddy would go out on the carport and take a hammer and a nail that was about that long, and he'd hammer each one of those eyes till a hole came in it, in that hole, that coconut hole. And then Mother would turn it upside down over a glass, and we all got to get a few sips of coconut milk. We called it coconut milk. I see all y'all following this morning and saying hello. Y'all are so sweet. Look, she says, hello, beautiful lady. Well, I don't feel beautiful right now. I need a bath, and I need to get refreshed from that long drive, because when you drive 3.5 hours, I did stop one time for gas. And when I stopped, I bought me a bag of those pig skins and some sunflower seeds. And let me tell you this, keep you some scissors or a pocket knife in your vehicle. Now, I mean that. And here's the reason. You can't get the bags open anymore, or I can't. I tried. I pulled, I got my teeth and I did all kinds of stuff. I couldn't get it in there. So finally, I looked in my console part, and there was a pair of little old kids' scissors about that long with pink handles. And so I grabbed those out and cut the top off of it. Have you tried to open things lately? Is it just me because I'm getting old and I can't open things? Or what is the situation there? I want to know. And also, y'all, wonder if, let's walk a little bit. I need to walk. My legs are getting stiff. Let's see if our fish, how they're doing. Hey, boys. Hey, boys and girls. Y'all gonna come up here? Are you hungry? I'm gonna feed you in a little bit. They ain't had anything to eat in 3 days because I've been gone. This stuff right here is purple sage, and it's going all around my sidewalk, and I need to get rid of that, but I'm going to let it seed. It comes back from seed. But anyway, it took me a long time to ride this morning, but I'm glad I'm home, and y'all can see out there, everything looks pretty green. I think we got some rain since I've been gone. But I'm glad to be back home. I turned my air conditioner so it wouldn't run full blast while I was gone. And then since I'm back, I went in there and fixed it to cool it off a little bit. When you go off and you come back home, does your house kind of smell stale, I guess you'd say, because nobody's been there to live in it and cook and do? Well, mine kind of smells kind of stale this morning, so I'm going to go in there and maybe cook a little something. I don't know what it'll be. I don't even know what I've got. But so that's what's going on here at the Gantt household after my reunion. Have y'all had a reunion? Hey, Linda says, I do keep a pair of scissors and a brush and work gloves. Hey, that's a good idea. I've got a friend that carries a shovel in the back of hers in case she wants to dig up something. Beside the road, I guess. You might get arrested for that. How was our reunion? It was so good. We had maybe close to 100 there at the reunion. A lot of us had lost our husbands, and there was a few husbands that had lost their wives. But we have, that's probably close to maybe 150 or maybe 100 that have already passed on. Some of our friends, they just weren't there because they had already passed. So here's what I say on reunions. When you get to be, and I'll soon be 80 in November 1 as a matter of fact, the day after Halloween. Mama told me the witches brought me, but anyway. So I would suggest y'all having a reunion either every year or every 3 years. We started out having it every 10, and then so many of us were dying that we changed it to every 5. Then we changed it to every 3, and now we've changed it to every year. And so I didn't get to go last year because they planned it too late, and I already had my calendar made. I planned my calendar for a year because of the Cottle House and me working and all. So I told them, I said, if y'all would just plan it early and let me know the date, I will be there. So they did plan it early, and I put it in my calendar. And it happened to be August 22nd. And y'all, that was my anniversary, my wedding anniversary. If George had lived, we would have been married 58 years this August. That was Saturday. We would have been married 58 years. But we were married 50 years before he passed away. Y'all see my little statue thing I got right here? I hadn't finished it yet. I got this in an antique shop, and I thought it was so cute. Let's see how the bottom is. I've got it sitting up with rocks right now. But I'm going to plant ferns and things around it, and then I think I'm going to plant some sort of vine and let it grow up this. And it's got a little place up here that you could sit a pot for a head. I think that would be really cute. So I'll do that. And let's see what else is happening. I see my crepe myrtle up there at the top of my house is blooming. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see if I can find it again. is pink. Let's see, where is that thing? There it is. There it is. That's the crepe myrtle that's blooming. That thing's way too high. I didn't even know crepe myrtles grew that high, but it's in full bloom. But anyway, I'm going to get out here. I think I'm going to turn on the sprinkler because my grass right here that I've sprigged, y'all see all those clumps of grass? I sprigged all those by hand. It is, I did centipede and St. Augustine. And it has to have water when you sprig something till it gets all adjusted. My little shrimp plant out here, it needs water too, bless its heart. I tell you, people that have a garden, see this? People that have a garden, they have to be home. I'll tell you the people that can't go anywhere. It's people who have a big garden, people who run chicken houses. You can't leave those chickens for a minute if you're a chicken farmer. People who have a restaurant. If you leave your restaurant, you know, the employees, they don't do like the owner does. And that restaurant will go downhill quick. I know that sometimes I'll give a restaurant a couple of tries, but if they fail that third time, I don't ever go back. I'm sorry, I just don't. If they start using not good food, or if it's not tasty or bad service or whatever, I just don't go back. That's it for me. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you give them 3 tries, they ought to have it by then, don't you think? Let's see. Let's read. Y'all got a question for me? Here's Tony from Illinois. And Jackie, hello, sweet friend. Hello. Our mom and dad's anniversary would have been August the 22nd also. And y'all, I must have been crazy. My wedding dress had long sleeves with those tiny little buttons up it. And it was beautiful. It was called candlelight color. Kind of a little bit of off-white. Not stark white, but a little bit of off-white. All right, they say it's a little cooler in Chilton County, Alabama. Well, y'all, Chilton County is Alabama's peach capital of the world, I think. They grow some good shrimp, peaches there. I'm reading somebody else's that wrote in something about shrimp. Hello from Pensacola. Hey, y'all are close to me. Y'all, I'm just 75 miles from the beach. Did y'all know that? My Andalusia is 75 miles from Destin and Fort Walton Beach, Florida. And if you've never seen the beaches from Florida to Alabama, Alabama's got gorgeous beaches. The name of one of our beaches is Gulf Shores, and one of them is Orange Beach. They're beautiful. The sand is as white. You got to wear sunglasses. If you even start to walk out there, you got to wear them. Everything you have is beautiful from Debbie in hot Arizona. Gosh, I bet it is hot there. Y'all grow cactuses, Debbie? Is that what y'all grow? All right, Ann says she's been married for 63 years, but he passed away before the 82nd birthday, I think she's saying. Here's Tennessee watching. Here's Ontario, Canada. Here's Amelia's watching. And Sue from Arkansas. And Joan from California. And Kim is watching. And Terry from Wilmington, North Carolina. And Mary is from Texas. Y'all are all over the place today. It's cooler in Iowa, 69. Oh, I'm jealous. I am so jealous. I wish I could get some of that Iowa weather. This person's from Delaware, Ohio. Linda. Here's Lynn from Newburgh, Maine. And Linda's watching. Here's finally a man. And I guess it's the man that says it's Charlie Carter. Hey, Charlie. Hey. And here's Margaret. Got my coffee book in this month. Oh, I'm so glad you bought my coffee table book. Isn't it beautiful? And aren't the stories great? I love it. If y'all hadn't bought my coffee table book, the name of it is The Southern Mirror. It's huge, and it's thick, and it's full color, and stories that I've written, and pictures from my yard and everything else. And even I have a little artwork in there, some paintings that I did. I love to paint, and I like to watercolor, and sometimes I do acrylic. I do both of them, sometimes on paper and sometimes on canvas. But I enjoy it. I've been always loved art. Here's Sandy and Jamie. All right, y'all, I don't see a single question. I'd love to answer your questions if you've got one. Anybody got a question? Going to be 102 here today. Kathy Rogers. Oh, my word, girl. What's your secret? There's Pennsylvania. I don't see a question. Somebody put a question up there. What do y'all want to know? Tell me what you want me to talk about. It's in the 70s in Pennsylvania, says Nancy. Jill, have you got a question? How about Patricia? They're just telling me where they're from. They don't have a question. Oh, my gosh. Martha says in Michigan, it's 56 degrees this a.m. Oh, my Lord, that sounds so good. Norma says, I got all your books. Well, Norma, honey, you got a lot of reading to do then, hadn't you? Here's Cheryl from Sugar Land, Texas. And Margaret says, yes, it is huge, talking about the book. The name of it, so here's how you get it. You go to BrendaGanttBook.com. I do not sell my books on Amazon. So if you see any of my books on Amazon, they're scammers and they're charging you way too much. Because my books are, the coffee table books I think are $34.95, and the coffee table book is, I think it's $37.95 or something like that. Don't get scammed. I sell through Hoffman Media. That's who I sell from. And they're not going to scam you. They're going to just send it to you. How do you clean your chopping block? I get good hot soapy water and I scrub the top of my chopping block every time I use it. And so it gets cleaned about 2 to 3 times a day, according to how many times I'm cooking. So that's how I clean my chopping block. And I don't use plastic chopping blocks because, you know, when you use them, you wind up with some creases in it. Well, where do you think that plastic went? It went on your food. So if I've got to have something in my body and I got to choose between wood and plastic, I'm going to choose wood because it's natural. We put wood in our mouth all the time anyway. We use our wooden toothpicks and chew on a pencil. When I was a little girl, people would have pencils. We keep them in our mouth and we chew on them. Lord, by the end of the year, the pencil was about used up. How do you grow rhubarb? You cannot grow rhubarb down here in the South. We don't even know how to cook that stuff. Somebody sent me some rhubarb and gave me a recipe, so I did that. Is there another book in the future? I don't know, but I know we're going to do some, have I ever made a mayonnaise cake? No, I have not. What's the good things you are cooking today? I'm not cooking today. I just got home a few minutes ago. I've been in Tuscaloosa at my class reunion, so I hadn't cooked. Anyway, what was I saying about the books? I don't even know. BrendaGanttBook.com, go to that. Here's San Antonio, Sandy Volba, go to Hoffman Media. Oh, Sandy, you go to no, you don't. What am I saying? You go to BrendaGanttBook.com and it takes you directly to Hoffman Media. BrendaGanttBook.com with no spaces or anything in it. Where do you get your stamina? Oh, where do I get my stamina? Y'all have had science before when you were in school, and what's one of the laws of motion? Tell me. What are the laws of motion in science? Let me tell you one of them. Object in motion stays in motion unless something comes in front of it and stops it. So as long as you are moving and you're walking around in your house and you're painting and vacuuming and whatever else you happen to be doing, you won't get tired. And when you do sit down, you're going to be sitting there for a while because you're going to be tired. Favorite Italian dish, I like lasagna. I love it. I love a lasagna. And I make a good homemade one. Can you make buns from cooked potatoes instead of flour? You know what? I'll surely try. I'll try that for y'all. I use glass cutting board. Well, that's good. All right. Have you gotten a lot of rain this year? We need rain here. No, we haven't gotten any. I've had to run my sprinkler, and I'm on I have a deep well, so I think there's a river under my house because we've never run out of water. Would love to know a little bit about the Cottle House. The Cottle House, that is my bed and breakfast, is a 1905 farmhouse. It's old. And George and I bought it and from about 10 miles up the road, and we moved it to our property. And then we scraped it, and we scalded it, and we painted it, and we caulked it, and we sanded it, and we built some shelves, and we built a big front porch around it and a sitting room, and then we turned it into a bed and breakfast. Do you ever watch TV? Yes, but very seldom. I don't really, I'm not a TV watcher, but I love old movies, and I watch that, and I watch Andy Griffith. Let's see. What did you get on your beautiful, where did you get a beautiful necklace? Let me find it. There it is. I got this at an heirloom jeweler's. Let me pull it up where you can see it. I got this at an heirloom jeweler's place, and I don't really know what it was. That's a diamond in the middle. And I think, if I had to guess, this was a pin that a lady would wear on her lapel or brooch right here. And he probably took that off and he added the little chain to it so I could wear it. Another thing it could have been a man's tie tack, because a long time ago men wore fancy tie tacks or, tie things. So I really don't know which one of those are, but that's where I got it. It was an heirloom jeweler's place. She's saying she's glad you caught me live. Y'all, I hardly ever do a live. And this one says, I love the Amish soap. Where do you find it? It's made here in Alabama with the Amish recipe. It's really good soap. It's got bentonite clay in it, which is a detox for your skin, and it works real good. We can't get rid of Sierra dust here in Florida. Well, I don't even know what that is. But she says people are being hospitalized. Can you freeze green tomatoes? I doubt it. I doubt if they would have the same texture as they should. I wouldn't think you could freeze them too good. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Do you ever make buttermilk pies? Oh, yes. I made it on the show, and it's in one of my cookbooks, too. Can you use bread flour for biscuits? Yes, you can, if it's self-rising. Will you make a lasagna for us? Yes, I will. I'll do that. I was able to see you live. Oh, going back to the live, y'all, I don't do lives. I hardly ever do a live, but I post every day. If you'll go to my page, some of y'all are watching fake pages, and you don't know it because they're tricking you. Here's what you need to look for. At the top of it, up there, it'll say, Cooking with Brenda Gantt. And I have a little blue check mark. And if it says anything else up there, that it's not me. If it says Cooking with Big Mama, that's not me. Brenda's Recipes, that's not me. Brenda's Fans, that's not me. Brenda in the Kitchen or Brenda at the Cottle House or whatever they might say. Some of them just say Cooking with Brenda. That's all it says. And they don't, you don't know what it is. But anyway, so that's, my screen just went dark. I wonder if y'all can still see me. Can you still see me? Can you slice green tomatoes for frying them? Frying later. What I would do is cut my tomatoes in cubes, because if you cut them in circles, they soak up too much grease. They just soak up too much grease. I don't know why my camera did that. All of a sudden, I turned dark. Can y'all still see me? Somebody tell me. She says, I watch your posts daily. Well, thank you, darling. When y'all go there, yes, this is alive. When y'all go there to my page, make sure you follow me. Because that, and if you will, when you find me, which I've got 4,960 something, I think it is today, followers. So if you are following somebody and it has less than 4 million, then it's not me. I got a lot more followers than everybody else. Are you live right now, Brenda? Well, yeah, I'm live. I'm live and well here in Andalusia, Alabama. Sitting out here, I can hear the locusts. And y'all know something you see in the fall, or makes you know a sign of fall is coming? You'll have crickets and locusts. The locusts will hang onto the side of a tree and shed their shell. And you can go out and find locust shells. That's a type of beetle bug. And you'll see a lot of yellow butterflies. If you see a lot of yellow butterflies and you see locust shells, fall is on the way, darling. That's right. All right, so Jimmy wants to know buttermilk is thicker. Oh, somebody must have asked, like, you can make biscuits with sweet milk, but buttermilk is actually better, and I know y'all can't find it. A lot of you cannot find it, and I'm so sorry. It's thicker, and your biscuit turns out better. Matter of fact, I made biscuits last night at Anna's in Dallas's house. I spent the night with them, and we had, we fixed salmon croquettes and cheese grits and biscuits, and we also fixed crab cakes to go with the cheese biscuit and other. So we had the salmon croquettes and the crab croquettes. They were both delicious. I have watched you every day for years, and old videos too, first thing in the morning. All right, I've gotten so many dinner ideas watching you. Well, I'm so glad. Hey, listen, y'all, if you were alone and you live alone, please just don't eat sandwiches all the time. Cook you something. Cook you a little head of cabbage and a thing of cornbread, and maybe put some pickles out there with it. That's enough. That's enough. That's a cruciferous vegetable. It's actually very, very, very good for you. All the cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts and stuff like that. And I ate a lot of collards too. Can you make your own buttermilk if you put a little vinegar in it? Yes, you can. And it's not much. It's just like a tablespoon or two. It's not much. I never do it because I always have buttermilk. But yes, you can make it. Somebody write in, please, and tell that woman how many you use. I keep buttermilk powder in case. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea, Ruth. That sure is. I see a lot of those locusts. Yeah, my son, Dallas, he used to, in this time of year, he'd get him a little bucket and walk around the yard and see how many he could find. He'd find 20 or 30 locusts, you know. I don't know. But anyway, when I was a little girl, we would catch a bug. It was called a June bug. And it was a type of beetle. It was probably about that long, maybe an inch long. And we would get a string. And y'all, this is awful, but we did it. We'd get a string, and I'd tie it to his leg, and he'd fly off. And I'd hold that string, and he'd fly in a circle. Oh, it was called a June bug. We did some crazy stuff when we were little like that. Smoking cigarettes made out of corn silks, the black corn silks, and rolled it around in paper sacks. Rolled us a cigarette in paper sacks, and catch June bugs and catch pollywogs, which is the same thing as a frog babies, tadpoles, call them pollywogs. And then we would catch lightning bugs, and I'm sorry to say that I did this, that I ought to be ashamed of myself, but I didn't know any better. I'd pull that little light out of its tail and put it on my finger right there, play like I was married, and that was a shiny diamond. I didn't know any better, y'all. Kids, we don't know. We did some things that we didn't know any better. And we got caught up in it. And I'm sorry to say I did it, but I did. They're talking about weight loss and somebody is. Let's see. I got the Amish soap below. We buy it from something. I can get mine here. Somebody mentioned Dallas just then, but they're coming up so quick I can't read them. I didn't know that. Dallas, my son saved a baby. That's what they're talking about. Matter of fact, a television station is going to interview him today, but I don't get that station, so I guess I won't get to see it. But this woman was just riding down the road, and she flayed her hands out like that out the window, like help or whatever. And he was on his motorcycle. He's a motorcycle cop, and he pulled over to her. She pulled off the road. He pulled off right behind her and ran up to the window to see what was wrong, and she grabbed her baby and handed it to him. The baby it was an infant, had stopped breathing, completely stopped breathing. And, of course, he turned the baby upside down and cradled it in his arms and did the palpitations on it. He thought it was choking, and that was what might have been wrong. I don't know. But he saved the baby, so he's being recognized for that. And he's a good man, and I know y'all love Dallas. I've heard you want to see him all the time, but he doesn't get on he doesn't do Facebook very much. He's got a little page, but he doesn't post too much about anything, but like his mama does. I just made date nut balls and biscuits. That sounds good. We have June bugs up here in Illinois. That's how I knew to hear the buzzing of the June bug. Y'all do some nutty stuff when you were little? We did. Heck, my mama, she'd send us out in the day, if we were in the house and it was pretty weather outside, she'd make us go out. We didn't have a choice. We did not have a choice. Your mama made, everybody's mama in my neighborhood made the kids get out in the yards. And we played, tried to find a shade tree, drink out of the water hose. We were thirsty. I don't know if she didn't lock the doors to keep us out. I don't remember. But I know this. We didn't get to come in until it was time to eat. So we played games outside. We played hopscotch, and we played Mother May I and 1, 2, 3 red light. And we stopped the milk truck and told him to throw ice out on the side of the road where we could make us it was kind of like ice, like an icy. We did that, and we built forts, and we built playhouses, and we dressed up and played dress-ups, put on mama clothes, and my brothers played cowboys and Indians, and we jumped rope, and we did double jump. That means 2 ropes going at the same time. Is Dallas' wife a police officer? Yes, she is. She works for the University of Alabama. She's a campus cop. They both are police officers. We didn't have a choice either. Yeah, we played outside every day till dark. Isn't that the truth? And you know, even after dark, sometimes if we had a supper that wasn't quite dark yet, we'd go back outside and play. We'd play hide and go seek at night. And we'd use the porch as the jail. Once you caught somebody, you had to put them in the jail. But somebody else could sneak up to the jail and tap them, and they were released, could run again. So you was trying to keep all your prisoners in. And, you know, we hid behind bushes and everything else. And I'll think back now and wonder how in the world did we not get snake bitten? I mean, really. I just don't know how we managed. The Lord was certainly with us. He watched over the children, and we were protected. I know he had his hand on us. And I know that he's got a plan for everybody's life, and he wanted us living because we had to complete our plan, his plan. We completed what was supposed to be our plan. It's God's plan. It was God's plan that I'm supposed to be on this Facebook. I had never thought about doing it ever in my whole life. Praise God for Dallas and all police officers, my husband and son. we're police officers. Oh, yes, what would we do without them? I'm telling you. When we're in trouble, we're looking for them, that's for sure. We need their help. Well, y'all, I've kept you long enough. Y'all are the sweetest things. And remember, don't be going to Amazon ordering books. We're going to do reprints of the cookbooks, I'm sure, fairly soon. And I've still got, I don't have any of them left, but we're going to reprint. And I've got the coffee table book, which is called The Southern Mirror. And you go to BrendaGanttBook.com and you can order that for Christmas presents or whatever for yourself or somebody getting married. It makes a good one. I've enjoyed being with y'all this morning and talking to you, even though I look tired. That's because I am. That 3-hour drive or 3.5 hours will get you when you're by yourself. And of course, I've got a comfortable truck. It's a good truck. It's comfortable. And I listened to Pandora, and I listened to some music, prayed some, thanked God some. It's a good time to praise when you're in the truck. Y'all have a wonderful day. Cook you something good and be blessed today. And I hope when nighttime comes that your little feet feel so good under the clean sheets. Wash your sheets if they need it. Pick up a few things in the house. Because your home is your sanctuary here on earth. It's our sanctuary. It's supposed to be a place where we can come and rest and be rejuvenated. And if you got clutter every which way in the house, you just can't relax. You need to pick something and clean that part up. If it's the top of a table, a closet, or something I don't buy a lot of. I don't hardly have any, and I don't want them. Or throw pillows. You know, you got to have maybe 1 or 2 on your couch because the couches today are made so crazy that if you lean back, it's too far back. And so you got to have a pillow behind your back. But I don't have a lot of throw pillows on my bed or anything like that. Ooh, that's a gnat coming. Because they always wind up on the floor. They're taking up space, and you got to pick them up and pick them up, re-pick them up. And so I just got to do it away with that stuff. I got a few around that I need. But I'm not putting 6 or 7 pillows on my bed to look pretty that I got to take them off at night and put them back on the next morning. That's not my calling. And I'm not going to do it. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. And may God bless each and every one of you. Put your burdens in His hand. Because you can't carry them by yourself. Love y'all. Bye-bye.